From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at Noon, streaming now.
For the first time this season, significant snow all across central Indiana. It made for a very slow drive to work for a lot of Hoosiers today, and we may not be through dealing with it just yet. Thanks so much for joining us here for WRTV News at Noon. I'm Nicole Griffin in for Lauren Casey. Meteorologist Todd Klassen joins me now. Todd, what is the very latest? What can we expect for the rest of the day?
You know, I think we're done with the accumulating snow, Nicole, which is good, but we'll still have some snow showers off and on here throughout the course of the afternoon and evening hours. They're just not going to be intense enough to overcome the warmer temperatures and the sun being up now across the area to give us any additional accumulation. Here's a live look at the satellite radar picture, and again, the snow is really starting to dry up across the area. Just a few snow showers there near Peru and Kokomo, and then a few more as you work your way down towards the Greencastle area and to the east near Connorsville. What's in the process of happening is the major winter storm that's going to bring 1 to 2 feet of snow across parts of the Northeast is starting to strengthen, and that just grabbed all the leftover moisture that we had here across central Indiana and pulled it into that main area of low pressure, and that's why we're not going to see any additional accumulation. Temperatures hovering right at freezing in Terre Haute, a degree above in Bloomington where some melting's taking place, and 31 in Indianapolis. Temperatures this afternoon, they should make their way up into the low to mid 30s, so the road should be in decent shape until sunset. Once the sun sets, though, we could see them slicking up once again as temperatures fall back below freezing, so just still be careful if you're going to be out and about. More on the rest of the week and the weekend coming up in just a few minutes. Nicole?
All right, Todd, thank you. And our team coverage of today's snow continues south of Indianapolis. Our Rafael Sanchez was out in the neighborhoods of Johnson County as the effort to clear the snow began.
Buses rolled later than usual in Franklin. This the first measurable snowfall so far of the season. About 80 school closings or delays were reported in central Indiana. Clay Fulkerson was on the job early, clearing neighborhood streets.
Just got to worry about the traffic is the main thing, trying to make sure to keep people safe. But other than that, it's just out here doing our job.
In Greenwood, when you opened your window blinds early this morning, you realized you had some snow dusting to do. The snow clinging to vehicles, sidewalks, and city streets. In Whiteland on US 31, the road markings disappeared under a blanket of snow, so drivers had to follow the tire treads on their journey. The path to any weather event often brings up big trucks to clear essential facilities like hospitals and public buildings critical during this pandemic. The snow also means jobs, especially for private contractors.
We're not complaining. We'll take it. Like I said, we'd already plowed a couple of times last year by this point, but we'll take what we can get.
While INDOT cleared many intersections around central Indiana, around 8:30 here in Franklin, the first snowfall came to an end, giving homeowners plenty of time to clear their sidewalks as well as their driveways before the next round of snow began to fall. Working for you in Franklin, Rafael Sanchez, WRTV.
All right, Rafael, thank you so much. Well, it was also a busy morning for Indianapolis firefighters. Crews were called to a north side apartment complex just before 5 this morning. About 20 people who live at the Springs luxury apartments on Rippling Way North were forced out of their homes by the fire. Investigators believe it was an electrical fire caused by the improper use of Christmas lights. No injuries were reported, and firefighters credit the working smoke detectors inside for everyone getting out safely. It isn't the big job he initially ran for, but the former mayor of South Bend is going to the nation's capital anyway. Moments ago, President-elect Joe Biden announced that Pete Buttigieg would be his nominee for Secretary of Transportation. Buttigieg was among the many Democrats who lost to Biden in this year's Democratic primary contest. The role of Transportation Secretary is expected to play a central role in Biden's push for a bipartisan infrastructure package. If he is confirmed by the Senate, Buttigieg will be the first LGBTQ cabinet secretary. After a brief downturn, coronavirus numbers are on the rise again in Indiana. Here are the very latest numbers now from the state health department. After 3 days below the 6,000 mark, the number of new COVID-19 cases rose to 6,283 today. The number of coronavirus deaths also continues to rise rapidly. Another 125 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. The health department says that brings the state's total to more than 6,700. Most worrisome for the healthcare industry, the state is running very low on hospital beds. As of now, only 11% of Indiana's intensive care beds are currently open. Healthcare workers at IU Health Methodist getting the COVID-19 vaccine today. Methodist is one of 5 pilot hospitals in the state, and it's the first in Indianapolis to receive Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine. About 1,900 doses arrived at the hospital today. Methodist has installed 2 ultra-low freezers that can store the vaccine at the appropriate temperature, which is about 100 degrees below zero. The freezers can store up to 500,000 doses of the vaccine. IU Health says about 200 pharmacists and pharmacy technicians will be involved in vaccine distribution, as well as 200 other IU Health employees and volunteers and 400 IU Health learners. The relief for millions of Americans is about to run out. Next, the intense talks in Congress and whether it could lead to another stimulus check for you. Todd.
And the cold accumulating snow coming to an end here across central Indiana. A few snow showers and flakes may fly here throughout the afternoon hours. But again, the accumulating snow is now shifting off to this major winter storm that's going to impact the northeast. We'll talk about that and look ahead to our pretty quiet weather pattern that's going to set up shop here across the area coming up in your WRTV Storm Team forecast.
Nine months after the first and only coronavirus relief bill was passed by Congress, a potential deal on a second bill is inching forward. In Washington, talks are coming down to the wire as protections from eviction for millions of Americans expire soon. ABC's Faith Abube has the very latest.
Signs of some progress on Capitol Hill on a much-needed COVID-19 relief package. House and Senate leaders on both sides of the political aisle meeting late into the night, hammering out details of a possible deal. After spending hours in closed-door meetings Tuesday, one apparent breakthrough is an agreement to provide new stimulus checks to low-income Americans.
We committed to continuing these urgent discussions until we have an agreement. And we agreed we will not leave town until we've made law.
McConnell, who has been largely absent from the negotiations, now suggesting he's willing to temporarily drop his demands for liability protections for businesses against COVID-19 related lawsuits. And Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Democrats are apparently prepared to drop their push for $160 billion in aid for states and local governments, the 2 major sticking points that have long delayed a compromise.
We Democrats would have liked to go considerably further. But this won't be the last time Congress speaks on COVID relief.
Pressure now mounting as discussions continue on the nearly $900 billion bipartisan COVID relief package.
We don't want this to be political at this point. We just need relief.
More than 10 million Americans were set to lose their unemployment benefits the day after Christmas, and protections from evictions expire in January. Businesses hit hard by the pandemic, also hoping for relief to stay afloat.
The United States Senate should have passed the coronavirus and economic relief package months ago.
Vice President-elect Kamala Harris also weighing in on the relief talks during an exclusive interview on GMA with Robin Roberts.
The people here in Washington, D.C. have got to stop living in a bubble. The people have a right to expect that their leaders in Congress see them and act in their best interest.
And next steps in the discussions are unclear at this point. However, the negotiations need to conclude soon before critical COVID aid expires next week. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
Faith, thank you. It could be the anchor of a resurgent part of downtown. Next, a look at what's growing out of the former Coca-Cola bottling plant and how it could impact the local economy. Let's take a live look outside here on this Wednesday morning across downtown Indianapolis. Todd will be back with another check of your forecast. He is timing out chances for more snow today. You're watching the news at noon right here on WRTV. The first guests are now staying at the new Bottleworks Hotel on Mass Ave. It's a story we've been following over the years as developers work to transform the area around the old Coca-Cola bottling factory. Our Cornelius Hawker shows us what one business owner thinks this development will mean during a tough year.
There's been a lot of anticipation in the years and months ahead of the Bottleworks Hotel opening. All the people we talked to leading up to it were hopeful it would be something good for the Bottleworks district.
We're glad that this is going to bring extra business down here.
Overall, we just thought it would be a good location with a brand new hotel coming in.
Now, the hotel is open and accepting guests.
I've always thought that building needed some love and attention and to be put to better use than it was. And so we're very happy about that.
But with so much to worry about over the summer because of the pandemic, Lisa Cunningham, owner of Mass Ave Wine, wasn't so sure this massive project was going to be worth all the good it was supposed to bring.
I was skeptical. I thought, how do you know that? What if they just take business away or take up parking? Or I couldn't see it. And it was just road closures and orange cone land down here.
Lisa tells me she feels differently now after meeting some of the hotel employees.
And they were all gracious and very kind and very excited themselves about our block, which I think is the best block on Mass Ave. If the last week has been any indication, I'm very happy and cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic and looking toward the future when more of what's been promised opens.
What's really going to be the game changer, I think, is when all the residences are and more office space opens, because that's what's going to bring more foot traffic, I think.
Working for you in the Bottleworks district, Cornelius Hawker, WRTV.
All right, Cornelius, thank you so much. With today being the first big snow day of the year, students in the Mount Vernon School District got a very special assignment. Mount Vernon Superintendent Jack Parker sent this letter to students this morning. He told students they first had to use the scientific process to plan appropriate clothing to go outside and then to test their theory by playing in the snow. Dr. Parker then said students needed to practice the skills of estimation and measurement when throwing snowballs at one another, while of course maintaining a minimum of 6 feet of distance with those outside of their household. So take a look at this. Our Kelsey Anderson found some Mount Vernon students who were taking that assignment very seriously. Okay, look, we'll test out their throwing the snowball skills here, having a little fun on this snow day. What do we have here? Wow, look at all that snow they are shoveling up. Oh, look at him having some fun outside today. And meteorologist Todd Clausen is joining me now. Todd, I know our Kara Kenny posted a photo. Her kids, I think by about 9 a.m. already had a snowman outside of their home. The kids are having some fun this afternoon.
Yeah, you know, it's the first decent snow that we've seen here across central Indiana, and the first snow for most of us. Some areas off to the east had one earlier in the month. But it's just something about that first snow. I saw people outside at 6 o'clock in the morning posting pictures of playing in the snow. So yeah, get outside. Many people at home need to get outside and do some things. So what a great opportunity. All right, here are some of the snowfall totals. The heavier band of snow set up north of downtown, and you can see from Lafayette to Tipton over to the Kokomo area, about 3 inches of snow. A little further to south in Hamilton County, Morse Reservoir. Thanks to Mike for sending in that reading, and Cicero, and then Fisher's 2 inches. Indy downtown 1.75 inches, and then around an inch to inch and a half, 2 inches in southern locations as well. So it wasn't a huge snowstorm for us by any means. It was definitely pretty. The timing wasn't great with the morning commute, but again, it's not a typical commute that we're dealing with right now, obviously with everything going on. So we haven't had too many issues. And as far as any additional snow, you notice there's a few snow showers out there near Terre Haute, and you'll see some flakes from time to time, but no additional accumulation is going to be taking place as all the moisture shifts off to the east as a major winter storm is going to be moving up the east coast. Most likely today, tomorrow morning, if you have travel plans in that direction, at least by flying, you are not going to get there as they're going to have near blizzard conditions at times. But closer to home here in central Indiana, we're going to settle into a pretty quiet weather pattern over the course of the remainder of the week and into Christmas week as well. Here are those snow showers that just rotate through here throughout the remainder of the afternoon. Again, nothing major. View outside Shows all the snow-covered roofs and temperatures creeping up to freezing in Shelbyville, just below freezing. So there will be some melting that takes place here this afternoon as high temperatures do sneak up into the low to mid 30s across the area. The one key time frame I will point out, though, is this evening. Once the sun sets, temperatures will fall back below freezing. So the loss of the sun, even though it's behind the clouds, still works its wonders. Once we lose the sun and these temperatures get below freezing, there could be refreezing out there and definitely some slick spots that could continue into tomorrow morning. So just be a little bit careful. Tomorrow, another cloudy day for us, but quiet with temperatures in the mid-30s. And then once we get to Friday and the weekend, we get the sunshine back. There'll be some scattered showers around on Saturday, but temperatures will be in the 40s. And then it looks like the temperatures will continue to be into the 40s throughout much of next week. So the snow that's on the ground, it is not going to hang around here, giving us a white Christmas as temperatures will be in the 40s. Obviously, all that is going to melt away. But again, this evening, once the sun sets, just be a little bit careful out there for some additional slick spots across the area with refreezing that could take place. Nicole?
All right, Todd, thank you. Well, they had to postpone it for 1 week because of the weather, but if you head downtown this Saturday, you'll have a chance to pick up that last-minute special gift. Our Lauren Casey spoke to Jennifer Hansen with Downtown Indy about this weekend's holiday market on the Circle.
At Downtown Indy, we are trying to bring people downtown to enjoy the holidays. The Circle of Lights is up. There's plenty of things to do. And so we wanted to showcase something outside where it's safe and you could socially distance yourself. And we have a holiday market on the Circle this Saturday coming up from 3 to 7 p.m.
And so why is this holiday market so important for, not only the people to be able to get outside and do something fun ahead of the holidays that's safe, but the people participating, like the patrons and employees, why is it so important this time of year that we support them?
Absolutely. Well, we partnered with the Arts Council of Indianapolis, Yelp, and the Indianapolis City Market, and they reached out to their vendors and their crafters and artists and invited them because we know that they haven't been able to work a lot. So for giving them the chance to come out and be able to sell their unique items for the holidays is really important. Gives them a chance to get out and sell some of their work. And then it's a great opportunity for you and all of us to come out and shop local. Some great unique finds from these vendors that will be downtown on Saturday.
And we know there is a push to shop local and support our businesses right here in Indianapolis and central Indiana. And a lot of times it's hard to do in this pandemic if you don't want to leave your home or you don't want to go inside the stores. So what are some of the safety protocols you guys are putting in place so that people who are thinking about coming to this can go out and still feel safe?
Sure. Well, when you come downtown on Saturday, obviously it's outside. You will still be required to wear a mask, but we will have social distancing in place. You can only go one way, where the other people on the other side will go one way. So we're keeping people 6 feet apart, and we'll have hand sanitizer on site. All the things that you see at the stores nowadays, we're going to make sure that everyone is safe and still able to get some great gifts for the holidays.
And our thanks to Jennifer Hansen with Downtown Indy for that interview. The holiday market on the Circle is this Saturday from 3 until 7 p.m. on Monument Circle. There's more info right now at downtownindy.org. And let's take another live look across downtown Indianapolis right now. We'll see what the rest of this snowy Wednesday will look like with Todd coming up next. You're watching the news at noon on WRTV.
All right, a few snow showers linger here throughout the afternoon hours, but the accumulating snow has come to an end. That is the good news, and no additional accumulation, but roads can get slick once again this evening once the sun sets with refreezing. Be aware of that. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, 36, and then temperatures into the 40s Friday all the way into the middle of next week. Nicole?
All right, Todd, thank you, and thank you so much for joining us. Join us right back here for the news at 5. Have a great afternoon.